So, you want to make some motion graphics with a square? Well, coincidentally, you seem to have clicked on this video. So, step 1 is already complete. Hey guys, welcome back to TutsByKai. I'm Kai, and today we are back in Blender 2.8 once again, taking a look at some square motion graphics. You guys were saying since we did the circle motion graphics that we should do the square motion graphics, so we could include all of the shapes, alright? And we're going to hit Shift A to add in a mesh plane, and then hit RX 90 once again to rotate that 90 degrees on the X axis. Left click to confirm. Now, what we're going to do is we can do this a couple of different ways, but what I want to do is this. So we'll hit Tab to go into edit mode here, and I'll go over here to the left hand side and grab the loop cut, and then we'll just put a loop cut straight up and down right there, boom, and put that right there in the center. Now, what we're gonna do next is I want to go off of the loop cut mode by going up here to this select box again. I'm gonna go ahead and hit Tab to go out of edit mode just real quick, and then we're gonna go over here to the whatchamacallit tab, to the there it is right there, to the shape keys tab, the upside down green triangle, and we're gonna hit this twice. So we hit this little plus button on the side of shape keys twice. Boom, boom. So now we should have a basis and a key 1. Now, if I double click that key 1, we should have something, maybe we'll call it extend. Yeah, extend. That's fine, right? Yeah, extend. And then we'll go ahead and hit Tab once again. With that, it's still on extend. And then we'll grab all of these outer vertices. So this one and this one. We're going to skip this entire line, and then this one and this one over here. So the two on the left and the right and left hand side here. Now we're going to go up to the magnet mode right here. And we're going to hit SX. And we're just going to scale these inwards until they get super close. Now the magnet's not going to work with the actual scaling. So what we can do to fix that is we can go ahead and change this and hit this little box right here and hit scale and rotate. So when you hit SX, you can see now it'll snap onto different sizes when we scale. And then we can just make sure it's all the way on that line. So now it's completely disappeared. You can see the line, but if we hit Tab to go out of this and then hit my overlays off, now you can see if I turn the value for the extend up right here on the side with this extend selected, if I turn the value up, you can see it comes out of nowhere. It just comes, yeah, which is super cool. That's pretty much what we're doing. Now, since we've done that with the shape keys, we can open up our timeline and we can start animating. So I'm going to change my start frame to 0. Yes, we're going to go to the first frame, which is 0 now. And I'm going to select our square. I'm going to make it a little bit smaller by hitting S and then scaling it down a little bit. We can turn magnets off at this moment, by the way. Turn my overlays back on so I can see overlays right there. Now, I want to do a little bit of animation. I'm going to bump our in frame up from 250 to 500 for the time being. We might make it longer, might make it shorter, I don't know. But just for now. We'll go to the main tab here, well, the main tab right here, the scene tab, output rather, and I'll change my frame rate to 60 because motion graphics always look better at 60. And then we're going to go ahead and start animating. So I want this to come out of nowhere, so we'll go back to the shape keys, and I want to go maybe on frame 100, or maybe, actually no, we'll do this backwards. Okay, so on frame 0, we'll turn the value all the way up to 1 so it's not existent. It's non-existent at the moment. And I'm going to hover my cursor over top of value and hit I on my keyboard to insert a keyframe. Now, on frame, really quickly, we'll do on frame 10, we will change the value up to 0.2, other way, 0.2. Then hover my cursor over top of this, hit I, and there we go. Now, on frame 100, I think that might be too quick. On frame 100, we're going to change this all the way to 0 and hit I. Now, you can see when we play this, really big, then kind of fades away. Now, the 100 is the 100 is kind of far away, so I'm going to hit G on my keyboard, G, and we're going to move that to frame 60 instead of 100, and then see what it looks like. Yeah, I think that's better. All right, cool. So we got a little bit of a motion graphic going on, but it's still not a lot so far. So I want to rotate this as well while it's coming in. So on frame, I think I want to do on frame 35, we'll do that right there. And we'll hit I right there, location, and then on frame 45, so exactly 10 frames later, we'll hit RY 45 on my numpad. Then left click to confirm that rotation. We're going to hit I, rotation, and then we're going to go, what is that, 50 frames away, so that'll be somewhere around, let's just do 100, let's do 100 even, and then we'll hit I, rotation. Perfect. Now, with this selected, with this rotated, you can see on frame 45, we've already rotated it all the way, which is unlike what we've done with this. We've only made it come out a little bit, and then we made it fade away into the full cube. So I want to do that here. So on frame 35, it's not rotated at all. Frame 45, it's fully rotated, which is not what I want. So I'm going to rotate, hit RY. I'm rotated a little bit, maybe about right there, just a little tiny bit ways away. Hit I, rotation. Now when we play this, you can see, comes out of nowhere, rotates, smooths away, which is really, really cool. But I also want this to rotate again because I want this to go back and loop itself. I want it to loop, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and rotate this again. We're going to give it some time to sit there, though, so I'll go give it 30 frames to sit right there. So we'll go to 130, hit I, rotation, and then we're going to skip 10 frames once again like we did over here. 10 frames, and then we'll hit RY, 45. Now it's back to looking like where it was, but it's 90 degrees to the left. Then hit I, rotation. Now, the only thing we have to do now is, once again, smooth this. So I'm going to go to 180, and then we'll hit I, rotation. And then this time we will move this one up. So RY, just move it up slightly. Rotation, I, rotation. So now it does like that, which is cool. Only thing we got to do now is make it shrink back down to nothing. So I'm going to go ahead and hit maybe around 210. We're going to go ahead and hover our cursor over the value, hit I, then go to about frame 220, 10 frames later, and then 0.8, and then I, and then we'll go to 150, and then go all the way up to 1, hover my cursor over top of that, hit I. Now, wow, that's actually 250. Wow, I said we're probably going to leave it. I should have just left it. That's awesome. So when I changed my in frame back to 250, we used literally all the frames. I did not do that on purpose. That is super cool. Now, if we play this, turn my overlays off, you can see, comes out, rotates again, shrinks back down. And then it loops, which is the coolest thing. So if we get rid of this, you can really tell that it loops. Your eyes are tricking you. There you go. So it's coming around, shrinks, comes open, super cool stuff. Now, we can have a little bit of a buffer so it doesn't come right back out instantly by changing the in frame to 260 instead of 250. Actually, I want to leave it on 250. We'll just make this, oh, no, 250. I'm just going to move this one up by hitting G to 240 just so I have that 10 so that I can leave it on 250. So now we got a little bit of motion graphics, which is just the coolest. I love motion graphics so much. You could do so much with this really quickly. I know I'm probably running out of time, but I can hit Shift D, duplicate this, and then hit GY to move backwards slightly. And then I'm going to hit S, and since we didn't add a scale keyframe, it should work properly, which it does. So I'm going to scale it, just maybe that's a little too much. Do something like that, and I think that looks fine. We will double tap A in the timeline down here and hit G to move these frames over by 10. Or maybe the 10 is kind of far. We'll do by 5. And, yeah, we'll do 5. And then we'll change the color. So I'll hit this little 3 right here and then go to the base color and then just change this to like a darker purplish. And then I will do the same thing again. So Shift D on this, GY, move it backwards. Hit S to scale it up very slightly. Then make sure all these keyframes are selected. Hit G, move this over 5 more frames. And then now you can see if I change the material again, 2, and then move this closer to that color. You can see if I play this, now we have multiple different cubes coming out, which just looks awesome. Well, squares coming out, rather. Just super, super cool things you can do with this. You can change the colors to even more different colors so you can actually see the difference between the colors. But yeah, so you get the idea. I absolutely love motion graphics. Super cool stuff. You can see there's so many things you can do with them. But yeah, that is it for today's tutorial. Hope you, ladies and gentlemen, enjoyed it. I will see you in the next one. But until then, bye-bye.